Well, hey everyone, great to be back for another devotional and to kick off this week where we'll be looking at the parables of Jesus. I wanted to share with you from a parable from Luke 18, the Pharisee and the tax collector, and this one has been really working in my heart a lot these last few days, and I pray that does the same for you as well. So let's jump in. He also told this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and treated others with contempt. Two men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee, standing by himself, prayed thus, God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Jesus is teaching us in this parable that God doesn't care about outward appearances. The Pharisee was a picture of moral perfection and of prestige, and the tax collector, the one who's most despised and hated in Israel. And God says, I don't care about outward appearances, I care about the heart. And we see that the tax collector goes home justified because he cries out to God and says, be merciful to me, a sinner. Right? We are justified by God today when we cry out and say, Jesus, be merciful to me, a sinner. I have sinned, I'm broken, I can't fix myself, I need saving. God, I trust your plan, your work through Jesus. I give my life to you. And in that humility, God exalts us as his sons and daughters, right? That we are adopted into his family, that we are eternally secure forever. We're not justified, right, in the way that this Pharisee thinks that he's justified, by comparing ourselves to others. That I'm okay, I'm all good, because I'm not as bad as that person, or I do more good than this person over there, so that means I'm okay. And while I know this is true, right, and deep down it's what I believe, I was really struck by how often my heart is way more like the Pharisee than like the tax collector in this parable. As I scroll through my Facebook news feed or read news articles or have conversations with people, so often as I reflected on this, my heart and my thoughts in my head are, well, at least I don't have this political view that this person has. At least I don't spend my money in that way. At least I don't think that thing is true. Right? At least I read my Bible more than that person. At least I don't struggle with that sin as much as that person does right now. And on and on and on. And it's so sick. And it's sin. Because in the end, what I'm doing is I'm exalting myself above others in my heart as a way of feeling like I'm okay, like I'm good, right? Like I'm justified. I have worth, I have value because I'm better than others. And the truth of the gospel is that we don't have to put ourselves in a position higher than others, but instead of looking to the left or to the right, we can look straight at Jesus, our risen Lamb, and say, Jesus, by your blood, by your mercy over me, by your forgiveness, I am justified. I have ultimate worth, ultimate value. And when we do that, instead of looking to others around us with contempt and needing to posture ourselves above them for our worth and value, instead we're freed of that. And instead we can look at others with the mercy that we've received from God and have mercy on them and have hearts of compassion for them rather than comparison, which creates envy and jealousy and contempt and all of that. And I've been challenged this week as I've read this, and will continue to be challenged as I've repented of these wrong attitudes in my heart. God, be gracious to me, right? Be merciful to me, a sinner. Help me, make me aware of when I'm thinking in these ways, and help me instead to set my sights on you, God, for my source of justification, of being okay, and applying the gospel to those areas of my heart that I need to be reminded of. And so my hope today is that you would also be reminded of where your justification comes from, where your right standing before God comes from, and you would live in that rather than in comparison to others. So, love you guys and hope you have a great day.